like conditions in a tank behind plexiglass.
Here, we can create the conditions we want. We can create them repeatedly. We know that exactly what's going on, so we can get a much more controlled measurement of what's happening.
By bringing the storm inside the lab, researchers can safely study forces that power hurricanes and understand how they grow stronger.
Again, and that's all stuff that was learned at the school through these wave tanks, and this relatively new, huge wind and wave tank really lets people get at the meat of that.
It's said that to guess your future, you have to really understand your past, and no place embodies that attitude quite like Rasmus. You see, right next to me, this may just look like a painted wall, but it's actually the water levels of several different hurricanes that harmed the Miami area over many decades. In red, that's Irma 8 years ago in 2017. Blue is Betsy from the 60s, and green is Andrew, that decimated homestead in the 90s.
Being aware of history and knowing that history lets you know what is the area capable of experiencing, what's happened there. Even if you didn't personally ever experience it, doesn't mean it's not possible.
The data gathered here feeds directly into models used to forecast storm intensity, helping scientists better predict when a system will strengthen or weaken. But for researchers themselves, this isn't just about numbers.
We had a meeting and it was like, what's our mission? And this is a committee, and somebody said, to save the world. And nobody laughed. I mean, it really feels like that.
And that mission is only growing as Rasmus is looking to get even more ambitious with storm forecasting. Much of the data from Rasmus is shared with local governments to help prepare citizens for any storm, one experiment at a time. Chris Perez, UMTV.
Everglades educators say they're seeing encouraging signs in an ecosystem that has struggled for decades. Wading birds like egrets, herons, and woodstocks were once defining features of South Florida landscape, but their populations have dropped dramatically over the past century as water diversion, development, and habitat loss disrupted the natural flow of the river of grass. Restoration items say that the flow is everything. When water levels are too high or too low at the wrong time, the birds cannot feed or nest successfully. Now, recent projects are helping move water more naturally through the marsh, and educators say they're seeing signs of recovery, including more activity in certain wading bird hotspots. They say these early improvements are a reminder that conservation efforts, public support, and continued funding are crucial if the ecosystem is going to fully rebound. Full Everglades restoration will stretch out over decades, but returning water to its natural path is already making a difference. They say healthy water flow can lead to stronger wading bird nesting seasons, cleaner water for South Florida communities, and an even more resilient ecosystem overall. Visitors can learn more about those efforts at park programs and interactive displays inside Everglades Visitor Centers.
Drownings have become a growing crisis here in South Florida, especially with so much water surrounding the state. Now those drowning death numbers are even higher. Taryn Jacobs is live with the story of one mother who knows this tragedy firsthand and is determined to prevent other deaths. Taryn?
Manny, that's the heartbreaking reality. Drownings can seem almost inevitable in South Florida, but for one mother, losing her young daughter wasn't the end of her story. It became her motivation to make sure that no other family ever feels that same pain. For Broward resident Casey McGovern, a day by the pool used to mean sunshine and watching her children play. But now it is a painful reminder of the daughter she lost and a tragedy that would change her life forever.
From loading my car with groceries, driving home, unloading the groceries, starting to put the groceries away in my house, to finding her, then sitting in the hospital watching my daughter fight for her life, 29 minutes.
Casey's daughter was 19 months old when she drowned in the family pool in 2009, and she's part of a very grim statistic. In Florida, drowning is the leading cause of accidental death for children ages 1 through 4. In 2024 alone, 107 children died as a result of drowning. But it doesn't have to be this way.
Drownings are preventable, and we really need to be able to prevent drownings here in Miami-Dade County.
And that has been Casey's mission since that fateful day in 2009 when she lost her own daughter.
Upon leaving her, I kissed her and I made her a promise that I would do everything in my power to help other families never experience it.
It is the organization that Casey started called Every Child a Swimmer. It provides scholarships for children to take swimming lessons across 44 states, and so far it has helped nearly 3,000 kids.
I can't bring my daughter back, but what motivates me is the power that we have to save others.
Casey isn't the only one making waves. Right here in Miami-Dade County, the Zero Drownings Initiative is helping promote access to swim lessons.
We wanted to take away some of the barriers that parents have why their children don't go to swim lessons. And one of those barriers is cost. Our program is completely free. The other barrier is a lot of parents don't have time to take their kids to swim lessons. So we actually transport the kids as a field trip.
Both Casey and Jim believe that swim lessons are one of the most important tools for preventing childhood drownings. According to the National Institutes of Health, formal swim lessons have been shown to reduce the risk of drowning in children ages 1 to 4 by almost 90%.
And I had a son after my daughter's death, and because of what we learned, he was swimming, like motorboat kicking from one side of the pool to the next by his first birthday.
And these initiatives are also teaching parents the importance of water safety.
I talk about the pool in the backyard or a body of water in the backyard, very similar to having a loaded gun on your coffee table. You would never do that with a toddler. Got to think about the pool as the same way.
And the rewards of her work are personal too.
No matter what, your body remembers the trauma. And so on those tougher days, having somebody say, you know, your story did this or that, it's just such a reward and such a blessing for me, and I'm really grateful, and it just continues to drive me harder.
As part of the Every Child a Swimmer initiative, Casey has turned her grief into action, pushing for real change. In 2021, she passed legislation that requires Florida schools to share water safety information and resources for swim lessons. And now she's looking to expand that effort nationwide. Reporting from Coral Gables, Taryn Jacobs, UMTV.
Thank you, Taryn. Kratom and kava bars have become especially popular in Miami, with many people turning to the plant-based drink as an alternative to alcohol. But not all kratom products are the same. Kratom comes from the leaf of a tropical tree found in Southeast Asia, and many people drink it for its mood-boosting or energizing effects. But recently, Florida banned a high-potency kratom compound known as 7-OH, a concentrated version that can be much stronger than a traditional kratom tea. But users say the effects are noticeably different.
The one time I took it, couldn't sleep the entire night. And I know, like, from what I've heard from other people, from friends, it's definitely a lot sketchier.
Under the new law, 7-OH is now classified as a Schedule I drug in Florida, while regular kratom remains legal. And even with the ban in place, Florida's kratom and kava bars continue to grow in popularity, keeping the debate over safety and regulation very much alive.
Time for a short break now, but when we come back, we'll introduce you to one local nonprofit providing clothes to low-income students. Plus, we'll tell you how a South Florida Goodwill location is breaking barriers in the community. Stay with us.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
With young kids at home, a stable work-home life balance can be difficult, and parents who work multiple jobs have less time to spend at home with their children. But as Delaney Haddad explains, one organization in Miami has created a program to keep kids in the classroom and provide the extra support they need to succeed.
Think of the reader.
For most children, traditional school is the only place they get to learn and grow. But some need a little extra help. And that's when places like this one in North Miami step in.
I didn't really speak English that well. When I went to Dreamers, there were teachers who helped me speak English better, who corrected me when I said something wrong. And now that really helped a lot because I can speak English better.
The Dreamers is the I Have a Dream Foundation, a developmental program that adopts a kindergarten class located in a low-income area and provides continual academic and social resources to students and their teachers.
More to add to this.
They have a program that's invested in children when they're kindergartners, and they remain constant in the lives of these children until they become adults in their careers. That told me everything that I needed to know in terms of impact.
Education is essential for developing youth academic and social skills, but outside factors can get in the way of children reaching their full potential in school. And in Miami, poverty is a major contributor.
High absenteeism is huge among people of poverty. So one, it could just be transportation getting to school. It could be something that happened in the house. It could be they don't have a clean uniform.
In Miami-Dade County, more than half of households fall below what's called the ALICE threshold, the minimum income needed to afford basic necessities. ALICE stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained Employed, and represents the hardworking community members that are employed but cannot keep up with the rising cost of living.
They're working, they're taking care of home, they don't have the time or the means or the resources to provide kids with.
And for the kids growing up in these households, going to school can feel more like a burden than an opportunity.
If you're tired, if a parent went to jail the night before, or if you have to take care of your brothers and sisters, like to get up in that morning, it can be really hard.
But a little support can go a long way in a child's academic development.
It's hard to, have difficulties and sometimes try to show up for your child the way that you need to. You can't be here, but we can be here.
And the impact of the foundation is seen not just by the services they provide, but also in the children it serves.
Dreamers helped me a lot with all the stress that I've been through because I have friends that can be by my side, and the counselors are really nice and understanding.
There are very many people who really ask how you're feeling, and that makes me feel better because it shows that somebody actually cares.
Since opening in 1995, the Miami chapter has supported over 250 children. Now they are taking on their third class, who are expected to graduate in 2032. And these dreamers have proven that being born into poverty does not mean that one cannot succeed. They just need the opportunity to.
I just want to show these kids the world. I want the kids to know that they don't have to be a product of their environment. Just because your mom didn't go to college, that doesn't have to be the same thing for you. And it doesn't even have to be college. I just want you to know, I just want the kids, the dreamers, to know that they can conquer the world. And we are here to support them in every endeavor.
Delaney Haddad, UMTV.
Now to one sports league that is bringing the adult community closer through its special bonds. The PSN Adult Flag Football League in Miami Lakes plays every Wednesday night. Its founder is former college football player Jason Bojarquez, who says he has a vision when he started the league.
Not only a mental exercise, but a physical exercise. So it's all about getting the guys together, man, and even the young women, some of the family members that want to come out. To get out, to go outside, to stay active, man, and take care of yourself, physically and mentally.
The founder has developed a special mentor relationship with 15-year-old Christian Rich Ease, who already received offers from Vanderbilt and Pittsburgh. The group will continue to play and hope that when they are putting out there in the community, it brings people closer and continues to create bonds that will last a lifetime.
With the holiday season just around the corner, kids are making their lists of presents. However, with financial hardships growing in South Florida, many families simply can't afford to buy any gifts. Now, One South Florida nonprofit is bringing holiday cheer to students who need it the most. Johnny Muschin has the story.
It's a regular day here at William J. Bryan Elementary, with students gathering in the cafeteria. But in front of them, 40 wrapped presents. Inside each one, a brand new pair of sneakers, bought specifically for what each child likes. And even though it's the holiday season, it's not Santa Claus delivering these gifts. It's two men dedicated to providing for those less fortunate.
The gratitude that we get from paying forward shoes to kids is the reason we continue to do it. They need it. We know it. We used to be those kids. So in reciprocation, we're trying to step up and be there for them and be a champion for them.
The Foot Forward Foundation began as a dream of two sneakerheads who wanted to give back to their community. And in Miami-Dade County, where 54% of families with children struggle to make ends meet, that support is more important than ever.
Well, the situation here in South Florida is, the financial situation with the rent going up so much, insurances, food. It's a crisis right now. We help the homeless as well, and we run into people that are newly homeless because their pensions aren't enough to pay rent. So there's a lot of older folks in shelters because they just can't afford to survive here.
One expense is sneakers. Brand new high quality footwear can cost up to $200 per child. But thanks to Foot Forward's efforts, students here are able to lace up some of the hottest sneakers without any cost to their families.
How much do you like your shoes?
Oh, it's a wonderful initiative because I think that a lot of parents are struggling, especially that when we have families with, more than one kid, and it's a big relief.
For many students, low income can lead to low self-esteem and even harassment. In Florida, nearly 25% of students say they experience some form of bullying every week. But today, with new kicks and support from their classmates, these kids are not just getting shoes. They're stepping into a new sense of confidence.
Bullying is at an all-time high, as we see all over the place. And a lot of the times, the only thing that differentiates you is your shoes. So to have a nice pair of sneakers helps you walk with confidence, helps you feel strong, powerful, and like you can take on anything or take on anybody. So that's what we're trying to do.
And Foot Forward doesn't frame this as charity. Each student was hand-selected by their faculty for their hard work, behavior, and positive character, receiving their shoes as student ambassadors.
Some of these students are low-income, as we spoke, from low-income families. Some of them are from orphanages. So we're not going to tell them, look, we're going to give you shoes because you need them. So we kind of mask it as an ambassador, and they're getting them because they're doing good in class and they were chosen. And that's how he kind of came up with that idea, so that we didn't make anybody feel lesser.
In the end, what Foot Forward has done best is put a smile on dozens of faces with only some soles and some laces.
Oh, believe me, they're going to remember that day. You can see it, you can feel it. They're going to remember that day, that they received something that they maybe not were expecting. And it's a great, who doesn't like sneakers? All kids like sneakers. And then receiving a brand new pair of sneakers, colorful and everything, believe me, they're going to remember that day for the rest of their lives.
Reporting in North Miami, Johnny Muschin, UMTV.
And finally, many know Goodwill South Florida for its thrift stores. But behind the scenes, the organization offers much more than that. The nonprofit is the #1 employer of disabled people in South Florida, with more than 91% of their employees having some kind of disability. Through the financial support made from the thrift stores and donations, employees receive job coaching, adaptive technology assistance, transportation help, and hands-on instruction, filling gaps that traditional workplaces often overlook.
Because people understand that we're the place to donate this jacket when I'm done with it, and that we have stores. But beyond that, they're not really sure what we're doing. But the truth is, those are really funding mechanisms for the nonprofit, which is all about workforce development.
Whether it's sewing together a military uniform or grooving with fellow employees in the Spirit of Goodwill Band, the nonprofit provides a daily sense of purpose and empowerment to those who are usually overlooked.
Well, it's great that these places exist for everyone, especially during the holiday season.
What an amazing organization, am I right?
Yes, it is. But that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us throughout this entire semester of UMTV News.
We will be back in the new year. Have a great holiday season.